Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Autumn Emerald and today I am building a 1960s house for my Houses for the Ages series. So the 1960s were also known as the swinging 60s. Britain transformed from being bleak and conservative to sorting out fun, colour and freedom. It was the time of cultural revolution. For the houses, on the other hand, that saw the 1960s saw the rise of mid-rise flats, so they typically went up to 3 to 4, perhaps even 5 stories high. But then later in the 1960s, going into the 1970s, they then realised, well, oh, hang on, we can stack even more people into these houses and make them even taller? Okay, yeah, sure, let's do that. I like that idea. More people, more homes, yeah. The houses, on the other hand, they were bigger than the 1950s with more land, with a large front garden with a garage attached to or next to the house with a flat roof. Speaking of roofs, they typically had a pitched roof on top of the house with cement roof tiles. They also had big modern windows letting in lots of light. You would also see some 1960s houses having dormer windows, which also had a flat roof. So when I was first researching 1960s houses, I came across an article that had a picture attached to it. Now, in this picture showed me a 1960s house with dormer windows, and I was like, okay, whatever house I'll be making for this 1960s, it will have dormer windows. My mind is set on that. It will have dormer windows. And so as I started to research more about the 1960s and more about the houses, I started to recognise what a 1960s house looked like. And as I was travelling in around my local area, I started to notice there are a lot of 1960s houses scattered in around these Victorian terraces, and a lot of them did not have these dormer windows. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I think I may be building one of these 1960s houses that I'm seeing a lot in around my area. But I know they don't have dormer windows, but for my one, I'll just mush it together. It'll be fine. Yeah, it'll be fine. So when I came to building my 1960s build in The Sims 4, I went ahead and started to build it. And I popped down my dormer window in the roof line, and it just didn't look right. It looked a bit weird. But I was set on the fact I was going to have dormer windows. I was set on that. So I tried several times to implement the dormer windows into my roof line, but I eventually got rid of it because it just didn't look good. So I just got rid of it and just went for the 1960s build that I see a lot in around scattered around my local area, because I know that's what it looks like. It looks good. Other things that happened in the 1960s include Beatlemania. So the Beatles defined British music, and by the 1964s, the Beatles had sold around 80 million records globally. British music changed significantly with widespread introduction of rock and roll music and the creation of pop music. So just to clarify, rock and roll was popular in the 1950s in America, but it was only in the 1960s that reached Britain and became popularised, creating brands such like the Rolling Stones. It was also the decade that saw people take part in recreational drugs and the popularisation of miniskirts. The miniskirt was designed to be free and liberating for women, allowing them to run and jump. Yay! Women also wore trousers for the first time. Feminism began to become a more influential ideology as more jobs became available, letting women become more independent. Now we are inside, I will talk about what was happening in the interior of 1960s builds. So usually the layout was upside down. So for example, you would come into the bedrooms and then you would go upstairs to the kitchen, dining, living area. I didn't do this for this house, I just kept it pretty normal looking, layout wise. They also liked open plan, which is my favourite. If you watch like some other videos before, you notice they are open plan. That's just typically what I would like to do. I just find them like so much easier to do, and this looks nicer as well. Plastic was fantastic in the 1960s. Art Nouveau was a good thing. They liked a bit of that. Space Age, love it. Travel to India / Morocco, so they liked to show off Indian / Morocco looking furniture, or to show off that they've been there. Like, look at me, look where I've gone, yay. They like using wood pine, so like pine wall panels. As you can see, we have that in the kitchen / covering around the exterior of the bathroom, downstairs bathroom there. Shag pile. Vibrant colours including red, purple, clash colours of like tangerine, orange with pink. I tried to achieve that in the dining room a little bit there. Egg-shaped chair, and I think that was designed by Peter Gazier. I will put his name up so you can have a whack at his surname. Bamboo and wicker items. So there are so many 1960 looking chairs in The Sims 4. There was like so many, I couldn't even put them all in. But I tried. Lots of drapes in the bedroom. Lava lamps or bubble lamps, they were a good thing. Other designers that popped up in the 1960s that designed like iconic looking 1960s furniture include Werner Panton. I'll put their pictures of what they designed so you can get a better idea of what they did. Egg Chair Guy, Ferro Arino, Flat Pack Furniture, and where is it? Foldable furniture. They love that, so they would be nuts over IKEA. Hippie floral sliding doors. So in the dining room here you can see I popped down some sliding doors. Bright yellows, dark green, orange, hot pink, and black and white. So here my brain started to work a little bit whilst I was doing this, because I did learn about the 1960s in primary school though, so that was a long time ago. So as I was decorating this 1960s build, I was like, oh yeah, I remember this. Oh yeah, I remember this. Oh yeah, wasn't the 1960s known for like that soup picture? I was like, oh yeah. So yeah, and like the mini outside. It's like, oh yeah, I remember this. It was slowly coming back to me. There's also like some clear plastic chairs as well. Like I said, The Sims 4 has so many 1960s looking chairs. It's so odd. Other things that happened in the 1960s include James and the Giant Peach was published in 1961, written by Roald Dahl. As I was a kid when growing up, my favourite was The Twits. That was my favourite book that he written. And then I moved on to the Goosebumps. In 1963, Doctor Who premieres. So my favourite Doctor was David Tennant's Doctor. I can't remember if he was the 9th or 10th Doctor, but he was my favourite. And there's a new guy coming in, taking over from the female Doctor, and they're bringing back Russell T Davies, who was one of the writers in the Doctor Who when David Tennant was the Doctor. So hopefully it's going to be good again, because I haven't watched it since David Tennant. You saw me go outside very quickly to pop some like outdoor dining chairs. They were very similar looking to some 1960 chairs that I found online. Also some of the dining chairs, so the head dining chairs at either end, they are also very similar to a 1960s chairs. There's just so many of them in Sims 4. In 1964, the BBC launched its second channel, and the Top of the Pops began to broadcasting, which fits in quite nicely with music being a big thing. In 1966, over 2 million people watched England win Football World Cup. We came close last year. We failed with the penalties and we lost. In 1967, BBC Two broadcast the first colour broadcast of Wimbledon tennis tournament, which is happening at the moment. We're in its second week. In 1969, Concorde maiden flight. The Concorde was the first civilian supersonic aircraft. It took its first flight to London to New York, cutting the travel time by 3 hours. Now, I've made the journey to London to New York in 2019 with my family. It was the best thing ever. I was kind of like scared of the flight because I don't like flying, but I was like, I don't care because I'm going to New York. And that was 6 hours, so it was basically 3 hours from London to New York. In 1969 was the BBC's first all-night broadcast, which was the first man on the moon. And what I read from that was that what channel was it on? Was it BBC Two or BBC? No, just the BBC. So the BBC was supposed to just do like a quick update on what was going on because for Britain it was during the night. So they were just supposed to do like a quick update on what's going on, and just somehow it just became an all-nighter because lots of people started to tune in and watch it because it was amazing that this was happening. So yeah, there's a new Buzz Lightyear film out and I don't like the look of it. I feel slightly betrayed that they've got a new voice actor for Buzz. So instead of being Tom Allen, it's now the Chris Evans, the guy who used to play Captain America. So it's Captain America voicing Buzz, and I don't like it. Why did they do that? Even Woody himself, so what's his name? Tom Hanks is upset that they've changed the voice actor for Buzz. Like, why? It's like when I was watching as a kid, I used to watch The Little Mermaid, and it used to always bug me and annoy me so much that Flounder in Little Mermaid 2, the voice actor for him had also changed, and it always annoyed me. Like, why? You knew you were going to do Little Mermaid 2. Why can't you get the voice actor for Flounder? It just annoys me. I don't like it. And I've seen the trailer for Buzz Lightyear, and I don't like it. Also, you can see his hair. I don't like it. Put his little purple cap back on. It doesn't look right. No, I don't like it. I don't like the look of this spin-off. I love Toy Story. I love it. I don't think this is necessary. I think they're messing about with it. I don't like it. So for this bedroom, I thought, okay, I really like the look of the 1960s, but I think the one thing that a lot of us know about the 1960s were the fact that they just went for it with the colours and the patterns, and it was somewhat psychedelic. So for this bedroom, that is what I'm trying to show you, the clash of patterns and colours. And for some reason, I don't know why, I thought this would be easy peasy to make a fugly, ugly bedroom. But no, it took me so long to achieve ugliness for this bedroom. But this is the teenager's room. Trying to get as most like clashy patterns. If anything, I think the patterns clash more than the colours clash. I think there's a lot of like overwhelming, big, bold patterns rather than the colours clashing a little bit. But yeah, I tried to stick like all the colours in every colour and every wood tone that we have. So yeah. So for the kids' room, I'm just quickly grabbing some spacey pictures because I knew in 1969 or towards late part of the 60s that there was a first man in the room. So for this bedroom, this is the parents' bedroom. I think for most people, if they took like a glance of this bedroom and they go, oh, that's the 70s bedrooms. No, this is a 60s bedroom. I did look up many pictures of 1960s bedrooms, and this bedroom was supposed to represent like the drapes, like the lots of drapes that they like to put into their bedrooms. Also with this bedroom, I was trying to show off the fact that the 1960s also liked matching furniture sets. You do not know how hard that is because that means I had to match up the wood tones, and if it was from a different pack, it didn't match, honey. So I think that table there is base game. It doesn't match quite much a wood tone from Tiny Living, which the side table and the chest of drawers are from. So perhaps this bedroom has 2 matching furniture sets in here. So we got the matching furniture set from Tiny Living and then the matching furniture set from Base Game. A lot of designers, like interior designers these days, would say do not get matching furniture sets. They may be cheap and really tempting to get, but don't get them because it's too matchy and it doesn't bring out like personality, your personality, into the room. It just doesn't look good and looks cheap apparently. But in the 1960s, they loved a bit of matching furniture. Like, oh, this is a matching furniture set. Oh, and it's cheap as well. I must buy. So, yeah. So, this is a 1960s bedroom. I know it looks very 1970s, but this is a 1960s bedroom. Perhaps later 60s. For this entire interior, I'm basically just showcasing who the many 1960s interiors that the decade threw up or gave threw up throughout the decade. I'm not picking one year in that decade. I'm just showcasing you all the interiors that came up in the decade. That's all I'm showing you. So yeah, I had a lot of fun doing this. Clashing colours. The longer I did this, I was like, especially the downstairs, the living room. I was like, the longer I looked at it, I was like, this doesn't look that bad. I don't know what's wrong with me. It kind of looks good. I personally think the downstairs is better than the upstairs, just like decor wise. But yeah, I do like these bedrooms. I just prefer the downstairs. Also, I think the downstairs is, especially the living room, is more of what most people would recognise. I just hope that out of all the rooms in this build, there will be one where people go, oh yeah, that's 1960s. I recognise that to be a 1960s interior. So hopefully all these are from the 1960s, but I just hope at least one of them people recognise. So I'm just making this headboard from these chopping boards, turning them around so you can't see the chop marks on them, so it looks clean. So this is the kids' bedroom. I kept seeing like lots of bright in your face yellow bedrooms, so I was like, I gotta do one of them. They also had yellow draped duvet covers, so I used this bed, but I didn't like the metal bed frame it came with, so once again I used these chopping boards, and I then quickly realised this bedroom is huge just for one kid, so I decided to make this into a twin bedroom for 2 kids, and I decided to go with the really spacey future kind of female look for this room, hence the pictures and the spacey egg chair and the curvy desk. They like a little curves, they like lots of curves in the 1960s when it came to furniture. Curvy, groovy, floral, bright stuff. So yeah, this is the 1960s build. At the moment, when I'm doing the kids' bedroom, I have already done the garden. I just fancied doing the garden. I didn't fancy doing the kids' bedroom. I just fancied doing the garden, which is strange. But in the garden, we have a shed with a flat roof, which just houses a florist table and some Christmas decoration box. And then we have a paddling pool outside. With some swings. We have to have swings because I also watched like some 1960s video, and it was just like showing you around like the outside of someone's property. I don't know what was happening, but it did show me the outside of like the back garden, and it had some swings. It's like, so I have to have swings. So yeah, we got some swings. And begonias. They like a bit of begonias. This is begonias. So it's like a bush with pink flowers. So I put some pink bushy flowers in some of the raised bedding that I put down, and also I put some plastic furniture. So I put down a like a table, and I went for the white swatch to make it look like one of these plastic PVC tables, because, you know, like I said, plastic was fantastic back in the 60s. And what was popular? Also, micro oven was also popular. Technology went on the rise. They had these like portable radios, which meant they could listen to their favourite songs whilst out and about. They didn't have to be stuck at home whilst listening to their favourite songs. I went for this mirror in this kid's bedroom because it's very similar to the chair there, like I said, which is very similar to a designer chair in the 60s. So that's what happened in the 1960s. Trust me, a lot more happened in Britain in the 1960s than I wrote down. It's just, I knew that this video was a lot shorter, typically, to my normal length videos. And so it's like, I can't write all this down. I'm just going to pick some things that I like the look of or the sound of. And so, yeah, a lot happened during the 1960s. Like, everything and anything happened in the 1960s. It just all went down. But this is where I'm going to leave you, so thank you so much for watching. I know this is a lot shorter of a video that I would normally make, but once I realised I could get this video to be quite short, so I was like, I was going to go there. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. So thank you and goodbye.